And it's time for our very last day of the regular season of VALORANT Challengers North America. We've had a split 1, a split 2, a lot of upsets, a lot of matches, and we have 3 more to go today. And it's a very exciting last day. I'm going to be your host for today, Dryad. And today on the desk, I'm going to be joined by Gumpers and Wyatt. And guys, this season, as I just talked about, we've had a lot of upsets, teams that we didn't expect to make it. Now teams still figuring out if they're making it to playoffs or not, Wyatt. But we have 3 matches today, so I feel like the action is just not going to stop.
For sure, we have 2 on this stream, and then also there's going to be that Winthrop Core game, which is really important for Core on the B stream. But this first match we're getting into, Blin and Dobros, has a lot of implications. There's a whole web of various things that can happen depending on how many maps they get, and for their sake, they need to win 2-0, and if they don't, there's like a domino effect of 20 other things that are going to happen. So this game, a lot of weight on it.
There's a couple things to look at, and we're going to get into it so you guys know exactly how does it work for who makes it to playoffs, who gets relegated, who has to go through relegation promotion. We're going to talk about it soon, but let's talk about what happened yesterday too, because yesterday and the day before, we had these 3 matches. So that's why we're right in the middle. We had Oxygen taking the win against SAT in a 2-0 fashion, Gumpers. Then we had Fluffy Aimers taking the win against Dark Zero, where people were not expecting it too much. And then the 2-0 for TSM that we saw yesterday.
Yeah, honestly, the Fluffy Aimers one was a little bit of a surprise just because Dark Zero, they had such a spectacular performance kind of going into, I believe it was last week. And I mean, not last week, 2 weeks ago. It's been so long since we've been able to cast Challengers, but ever since then, I feel like I've been hoping for, this team and their upbringing. But yeah, it was an interesting week, to say the least, but not surprised by the TSM when they've been on their A game.
Yeah, it's a Fluffy Aimers that get that upset against a Dark Zero that was never taken down before throughout the split, that were undefeated until the Fluffy Aimers match. But for the matches today as well, Wyatt, we have some bangers, some ones that we also don't know which way they're going to go exactly. So how this is going to work is here on this main broadcast, you're going to have Blin against Dobros, and you're also going to have Moist Shopify going against M80. On the other broadcast, the Knights Arena Twitch channel, you will find Core against Winthrop, and that's going to happen at 5:30 Eastern time. So it's going to be happening kind of right in between all of these games.
Yeah, that M80 MXS game, obviously a banger. I mean, we're going to have Mata versus Koala Noob, 2 of the best teams going into this year of Challengers that are still 2 of the best teams. M80, finding their footing, bringing in Net after Nitro departed. How good are they going to be? This is a pretty big test for them. And again, that first match, the implications are huge. So 2 really important ones today.
Yeah, we have some big matches. And as we talked about, they have some implications of everything that can happen for teams to make it to playoffs or not make it to playoffs. So let's dive into it. Gumpers, can you break this down for me?
Listen, let me read what's on the screen, okay?
Time to lock in.
Because me 4 am confused. If Blin win 2-1, Core qualifies for Challenger Finals. If Blin lose, MXS win. Core qualify for Challengers Final. If Blin 2-0, Blin qualify for Challenger Final. If Blin and MXS lose, YFP qualify for Challenger Final. If Core qualify for the Challenger Final but finish stage 2 as bottom 2, Core must advance to the July promotion relegation tournament to secure their spot in the final. Listen, it speaks for itself, guys. This is the magic.
It's so clear. It's so clear for everybody right now what needs to happen.
In 5 minutes, I'm going to ask you, Dan, what all of the qualification scenarios are.
So this is what I understand, to keep it simple, for our very first match of Blin and Dobros is Blin are in a pretty safe spot. They only lost 2 matches this season against TSM and Dark Zero, so they're fine. But if they win 2-0, Core will go through relegation and promotion, and so they don't have a guaranteed spot. If it goes 2-1, then Core, I believe, still have a chance. And don't worry about Blin. Blin are fine. So I think that's the easiest way to break this down. But it's clearly not easy. So we're going to see how the match is going to play out, Wyatt.
Yeah, the main thing here of importance for me is that Blin's destiny is in their own hands. It's not a weird scenario where even if they win this, another team needs to. No, they just straight up, they can win 2-0. They can get in. They've been playing really well. It's totally in their hands to do it. So they just have to rise to the occasion now. They've been a very impressive team coming through that midseason relegation tournament, being promoted in. Obviously, several players on this team at various times have shown how skilled they are. Okeanos was just dunking on Winthrop last week, ended like plus 22 on kills. So listen, I think they're in prime position to get this 2-0 and qualify unless they, falter under the pressure.
Yeah, even if it goes to one, as we said, they should be fine. They just need to win. That's the main stake for Blin. And it's a team, Gumpers, that we've seen for quite some time. We've seen them not only here in Challengers, but in Collegiate. We've seen them playing some other third-party tournaments. They've been everywhere, and I feel like that experience has helped them win these matches.
Yeah, overall, this team had never been bad in the first place. They just could not qualify for Challengers starting off. They have to make their way somewhere else, and now they're here. But now they also have to prove themselves on a bigger stage. And I think they've been doing tremendously at that, to be completely honest with you. There's no doubt in my mind. Whenever I see Blin versus whoever, I always think it's an underdog story. I always think it's the dark horse story where they are going to prove an upset. So for me, this team, out of everyone, has the most potential to just continue going forward and just climbing the ladder for sure.
But how do you see them today, though? Because they're going against a Dobros that have only found one win against the winless team of Core. So they're not really the underdog for this match, which is honestly pretty unique, a very unique situation for them, because they're coming to these matches going against the very best of Challengers, Gumpers. And for now, they should be winning this match.
I think, honestly, Blin are going to run through it. I believed in them before. I continue to believe in them again, especially like against Dobros and them not having the best run. I think Blin is a strong team. They're gonna keep pushing forward.
Yeah, I really think the only test for this team is the pressure of the situation, knowing that they control whether or not they get into playoffs. I don't think they've ever been tested in this way, and I think the only way they lose this is if the pressure gets to them, because they are definitely they have showed rather over the season that they are a better team than Dobros. They should be winning this game.
And that's the thing for Dobros. Even on Split 1, we saw them going without any win, and then they win the 2 matches back-to-back for promotion or relegation. So they don't get relegated. They continue to play in the second split, but they continue to struggle, Gumpers. Only one win, as I said, against Core, and everything else has been a 2-0. That Moy Shopify was a little bit closer, but even then, it's a team that you can tell they need a lot of time to work, and they don't really have the time.
Yeah, the only team I believe they won against was Core a long time ago, right? So it's been difficult, and you can see that in the agent select, right? The fact that they're constantly changing their compositions. I don't think there's ever been a set comp that this team has actually stayed within the Challenger season, and that's the issue. They're trying to find that comfort, and I think a big part of it is just Zachary. He's a phenomenal duelist, but he's just not getting prepped the way that I genuinely believe that he could be. This team has tons of potential, but it's so individual that it feels like they're tearing themselves apart. So for DB, individually speaking, I think everybody here has so much potential, but in terms of the team, it's obvious that there's a lot that needs to be fixed.
For sure. I will try to shoot them a little bit of bail. Their schedule in this stage has been really tough. I mean, they've played against every single top team damn near in a row. They got that win against Core, right? But then they played Moy Shopify, Oxygen, YFP, who were totally rejuvenated, and then Fluffy Aimers, who just beat Dark Zero. Like, they ran the gauntlet of all of the best teams that we have. And so, perhaps that's kind of lowered our expectations for them too far.
Yeah.
But even still, based on what we've seen, they are the underdogs here. They're going to have to step up to get this final win.
Yeah, it's not going to be easy. And yeah, you said that they go against all these different opponents that are pretty good, and they have gotten the positive results throughout the season. But honestly, that's just the improvement that we've seen for other teams that I feel like for Dobros, we didn't really get the chance to see it. Where I thought they looked really good was that promotion relegation tournament where they won the 2 matches, then Dynamo left the team, and then they're trying to find themselves, as Gompers was saying, through all these maps, all these compositions, and they haven't been able to do so. Let's jump into the map select though. Let's see if we're gonna see something new from them, if it's gonna be about the same. And Wyatt, we get Sunset, Bind, and Haven for this series.
The Sunset pick is kind of interesting, actually, from Blinn. They haven't really done too well on the map. They've been fine. This is actually a map where they beat Dobros in that promotion relegation tournament, so maybe that's why. But since then, they only won it one other time, which was an OT against SAD. They lost to Dark Zero, who dominated them to some extent. They really just haven't shown that this is like the top of their pool. So kind of interesting to me that they've gone for Sunset.
Yeah, on Sunset and also Bind, and I'm really thinking about how the duelist head-to-head is going to play out in a match that we've seen before, Gompers, and in a match that it can really guarantee, especially as we head to Bind.
It's interesting for the Bind pick, though, for DB, because this is a map that they've played once throughout the season in general. So for me, to see them pick this, it is obvious that they might have something inside of their pockets. Obviously, with Haven, I feel like if we do end up going to that third map, Blinn are taking it for sure. That's a no-brainer. Teague is such a detrimental asset to the team on a map like Bind, going like 20+ assists each and every time, or 15+. So it definitely feels like it carries more heavily in the way of Blinn, but I feel like it's also obvious that DB are cooking something up today.
They're cooking something every week. Every time we see them is the Yoru pigs.
They get silly.
They get silly. They get really silly. And that's just the narrative for a lot of these Challengers teams, but especially for Dobros. You want to get silly and also get the win. So we're going to see if they're able to do so. Let's jump into Zippel Agent Selecta to find out what these 2 teams are going to be playing on that map of Sunset. And on one side, we're going to have Blinn with Okeanos on the Neon, and the other side is going to be Zachary on the Raze.
Okay,
we've seen
they
Zachary...
don't get silly. Why are Dobros playing some normal stuff?
We play pretty standard. I was going to say, we've seen Zachary run some crazy duelists. This is the most standard that they get. Let's see if they can get the win this way, though. Casters, take it away.
All right, thank you so much, Ryad. Normie comp versus Neon.
Ooh, play something silly.
Hey, maybe this is it, though. Like, instead of the silly Dobros, I mean, they might have silly strats. Let's cut them some slack.
It's possible, but I don't think so. I'm excited to see more of the Okeanos Neon, though. That was the agent that he just destroyed Winthrop with last week. Went 29-14 against them on Haven, which is nuts. I mean, in regular time as well. That's 29 kills in only 19 rounds. So I'm looking at Okeanos to just step up for the team again. I mean, we've talked about him every single week, but there's a reason he's really taken this Blinn team to some, unexpected heights. They're one of the teams that got promoted in mid-season, and they look really quality. They've looked good this entire stage too.
They've been honestly tearing, especially like you said with Okeanos. We're going to be able to see the double initiator comp, Teague and Monty, kind of assist and aid in that dominance. So I'm intrigued. 1 minute, 30 seconds in. I'm not getting ahead of myself, though.
Pretty slow so far from Blinn. Obviously, with the Neon and the Breach, the composition is very explosive. How fast you can get up over towards A, fight elbow with all the stuns, but
I got you.
right now, just a slow control of B main while their Cypher player, Mike, just watches over towards A with that cam, ensuring no one is pushing down their flank.
Yeah, not too simple, though. Nobody's standing around by A. At least not far enough to be able to make some of that movement. Seems like playing more so for that retake, especially reading into Blinn and their playstyle.
Yeah, just some passive angles being held from Dobros here. Definitely looking for that retake, like you said. Precision just watching this line on elbow. We'll see if he's able to maybe get the first and fall off.
30 seconds left.
Not going to prove to be quite difficult, though, especially as Okeanos tries to find their way in. But already DB kind of playing well into the pistol round, though lacking some of that space. Now Mike finding a couple of their own. So Blinn, yeah, they go down. Actually, my apologies, DB go down and have to find a way in, but it's not going to be easy. Zachary, Paint Shell maybe could apply some damage. We have so much util coming through from Drone. But yeah, depending on how this round is played.
It's going to be so tough. These are some nice crossfires from Blinn right now.
Yeah, pretty much is just to run it down and aim, but it's not going to work out. Already losing out on the duelist. Drone cautiously playing around their own util. Headshot's impressive, but yeah, at the end of the day, that first round going down towards Blinn.
Nice little attempt from Drone, but Blinn played that well. A very slow round to start things off, which a little unexpected with this comp, but I'm definitely not mad at that. Just a meticulous take of some of that B-main control into the A-main elbow control, getting info across the map with the Cypher utility. Working into a clean little exec there to start things off. Impressive from them so far. And again, just a reminder to anyone tuning in, Blinn need to win this match 2-0 to qualify for the Challengers Finals, to have an attempt at making it to the Ascension Tournament.
And that in itself is a lot of pressure, too. So I feel like here it's like now or never for Blinn. You can see they're playing pretty precautiously, even with Vandals in hand. So not wanting to put too much noise back to it.
Just ensuring that they don't throw away any lives, any guns for no purpose. This is definitely not the match where they're going to be taking any silly risks.
Already a risk made on the side of DB. Looking for an aggressive pistol play. Doesn't work out the way they plan, though. Oh, this is huge. Actually, timing might work out in favor. No. Drone backs off. Yeah, already down for it, yeah, but in regards to just Blinn in general, I mean, having so much to kind of work for is quite difficult, because now you have to win the game, go down to that 2-0. And confidence really is key here, especially now DB applying some of that pressure. Surprisingly enough, precision, making some pretty precise shots, having the tether still readily available, but 20 health left. Yeah, might just be game over. Right click, or even a Vandal shot, and down for the round win.
It should be, but yeah, that was a lot of significant damage done. Dobros will definitely take that. Just trying to rapidly get back into the site, deal a little bit of damage. Very successful at doing so. What I'm interested in now, though, looking at Blinn, is when they're going to up the pace, because they're absolutely going to suddenly hit Dobros with a fast exec round with this comp. Right now, they're controlling the pace of the game slowly. It's up to them when they want to opt to switch the pace up completely, try and explode into one of these sites. I want to see if Dobros will be ready for that.
Might just be. Oh, but this is big information if Monty gets caught. Now they know it's there. Waiting for it. The shot comes through, and now finally, huge aggression moving down towards the back of site. Big on the initiators to make at least a sort of shot call to push down back on that. Now it pretty much is just a fight down in spawn.
Shadows traveling.
Blinn have found this nice timing, totally exposed the lack of eyes watching mid. Okeanos going fast into the A site.
Behind it though, Drone isn't going to be able to find much, and it's Blinn again, proving that no matter what they have to face, they're going to be able to get out of it alive. Though still stuck in that 3v2, and the dark cover still there for Spaz, so they could replace that. Finding a different position though is Riku down the back.
That's good neural theft, excuse me, from Mike to get that info. Force a reposition from Riku, which is just wasting time.
One enemy remaining.
Shots call for themselves. Riku, left alone, doesn't know somebody's on the right-hand side. Still going to clear it down left. And it's not it. Round 3 won by Blinn. So that pretty much pushes DB in such an uncomfortable position.
Another really nicely played round from Blinn, just exposing the holes in the defense of Dobros, realizing that after Ange got that really nice first pick up in top mid, fell back too far, gave up way too much of the map. Blinn just waltzed their way through, and then Mike finds that perfect timing, controlling a main to pinch the players in elbow. Blinn are looking really on point right now. Really smooth gameplay. Just taking advantage of these early mistakes from Dobros.
Play differently though. 4 players wrapped around B. I mean, I guess there's a pistol round, so there's not a lot of importance kind of standing behind this. Just an orb clear, possibly? I mean, T close to having the Rolling Thunder, so.
Cage triggered.
Just going to try to collect as many orbs as they can, Blinn, to keep the snowball rolling, the economy rolling into the ultimates. Riku's got eyes on this. Blinn are headed towards the right site, though. Avoiding that stack on B could have gotten dangerous. They have a lot of sheriffs there. That defensive side.
Welcome back around to it. This is huge, though. Okeano sees opportunity and plays alongside. I mean, even despite having the stun, is able to push through. Yeah, pretty good for Blinn. Running everyone down, as it seems. Even the util is perfectly placed for, like, just normal stuff there.
Enemy remaining.
The frags to come through. Yeah, this is brutal.
So good from Blinn. They're playing really well right now, not making any little errors. Even though Spaz has the Vandal versus pistols in that situation, could have opted to hold the angle. Just finds the first and falls off. Waits for his teammates to get over. They understand how important this game is. They're not giving anything away, still continuing to play this slow pace, and it's allowing them to expose every little mistake that Dobros are making.
I don't even think they were, like, expecting this. Zachary, though, pulling out the op is such an interesting play, especially down in mid. I'm assuming trying to play with, like, the iteration of everybody and Blinn looking for some sort of pick, but it's not going to work. Now, Pop Flash moving forward and immediate down coming through from Ange. It's not going to be easy. Now you got to try to figure out how you're going to be able to keep the site. Which in itself seems like, yeah, there's absolutely no hold. Already op comes down. Everybody knows Zachary's there. And they lose out on that profit. And the economy goes down again for that 1v4. I mean, possibility, though. Precision could kind of load up the ultimate.
I'll find you.
Seeming as though now that's there, but a 1v3. And the spike's still ticking.
Just going to try to save that operator. Give it to Zachary, who really didn't have a chance to do much of anything at all into that round. Okeanos might just catch him on the rotate to tiles.
Nice.
He does. That last bullet will spray from the Vandal through the wall. Okeanos is already on fire. And you know, I was wondering a bit why Blinn picked into this map. They've beaten Dobros on it before, but to be fair, that was a little over 2 months ago. And since then, the results have been really mixed. They haven't been convincing. But the last times they played this map, they were playing, you know, the Rays, a bit of a more default look from what we've seen on this map. Not that this is all too dissimilar. It's just really the exchange, of the Rays for the Neon. But, you know, looks already like they're very strong with this Neon. We're probably finding a lot of success in scrims running this comp and are really confident bringing it in here. They are just destroying Dobros. I mean, look at the scoreboard right now. They have 2 players with no deaths. Both of them 7 kills. This is a tough start for DB.
They are not having a good time, especially now. Like, you know, when you invest in an op, that's a long-term investment, and now Blinn have it, so I believe they picked it up. So now you're kind of stuck in a spot where, you know, obviously timeout comes out. This is a big moment to kind of see what's going wrong. I think it really is just Blinn kind of taking advantage of DB and the fact that they like to hold pretty aggressively when it comes down to chokes, but could be more to that. Precision loading up that ultimate, so might work.
Here.
Fast stack towards B right now, Blinn. Just going to contact up into main and take it. There's not going to be a smoke down from DB like there was on the previous. They're just gathered up for a big hit, excuse me. They have the ults to do so.
Move that up. Thrash doesn't hit anything. Okeana still trying to move down towards the back, but the first time that we finally see him go down without taking that first-hand pick. And this might be the difference that Blinn needs. Now, obviously, not looking too good. Rolling Thunder pushing back the opposing side, and Mike making some sort of advancement, but it's Zachary to take back. And it doesn't work out the way they planned. 3v2. And the win condition there on the side of DB, unless T can make it better. But it's Drone to clutch it up and maybe take that first-hand point down for DB.
That was some real aggression from Blinn, pushing that deep into spawn. All 5 players. I mean, look at the deaths from them. They are all the way pushed up there. The only one towards Market was Mike. That aggro crossfire set up with Teague at the end to try to convert the round into 2v3. That was really nice positioning with Teague pushed up. I think the critical error, though, was just Okeanos, that first one to go down. He just overextended a little too far. Didn't have teammates in place to support for him, trade for him just yet. The first time Blinn have really made any amount of errors in this game. And it does allow Dobros to get there first, and now DB have stacked up a couple ultimates, can maybe continue the momentum with a Rolling Thunder from Drone.
Oh, but they're keeping silent. This is new out of Blinn. Silence for a second, but then it comes down to Okeanos and the ultimate. Is able to get one despite going down, so it works out for the best. Yeah, big rotation on the side of DB. It's a rough retake, but a possible one.
Right now, this positioning is looking pretty good. 2 players towards B main for Blinn. Honestly, pretty far forward, though. Might get caught. This Rolling Thunder is nice.
Oh, the Mike's there. Doesn't matter what's pushed by to them. Even right there and then, trying to displace where Mike is standing, but he does take the easy way out. Now still, though, 2v3. They've managed to take out a couple. Zachary picking off more, and it's there. 1v1. Spaz still hiding down towards back, and the defusal there, he doesn't know, jiggling through, just waiting for the perfect moment, and it doesn't happen for Drone. It's Spaz that keeps that 6-1.
DB really did have the utility to go for a nice retake there, but unfortunately for them, the timings were just a little bit off. And running through that smoke towards Market. If they had just waited a second to time that with the aftershock from Drone that came in after, might have been able to find that first kill onto Mike, but it was all too easy for the Blinn Cypher, holding that angle under no utility pressure. And unfortunately for DB, because they lost that round and won the previous, loss bonus is gone and their economy is fully cracked.
Oh, they're rushing it this time. This is the I'm tired of you, DB. And they just got rocked. They take it as they can.
Spike down mid.
No, but Ange, big recovery. There possibility for a pickup, but still having to be slightly careful. Blinn are just rolling with the punches at this point. It's quite difficult. Economy down for DB. I mean, trying to pick off fights with the Sheriff now. Doing a great job at managing some of their shots, but if Precision can manage to find a Vandal, this 1v2 seems a lot more possible.
I respect the effort from DB to mix it up, throw in a very aggressive round down mid, something they haven't done previously. Try and make something happen with the Sheriffs, and they do a lot of damage. They do get a lot of kills. Almost convert that fight into being a winning one for them, but at this point, Precision there is just no way he can win this in the 1v2. Time has ticked so much, and it's planted for B main.
Still waiting.
It's time for make-believe Pearl can just swing and spam the spike. It's so easy for Blinn from this position.
Oh, and they didn't even commit to the hole. Yeah, fighting the soft Teague. The man, the myth, the legend. A huge breach player for the side of Blinn. That is, I mean, it kind of shows for itself how this team is faring out, but 8 assists already and 13 kills. Definitely the map and the day for them today.
Yeah, this is just so dominant. The economy is rolling for Blinn right now. Everything invested for Dobros. Zachary picking up that operator, did so earlier in the map, but wasn't able to find much value with it. Perhaps this is where that can turn around, though he's positioned towards A, and Blinn look like they want to just hit the gas over on the B side. Fast exec.
Yeah, looking back towards B, and there's a quick rotation already settling in for DB. Kind of used to the noise at this point and adjusting, but moving down towards mid. Possibility for a flank information already given away, and yeah, B site cleared.
Lynn getting this for free. They've been so aggro fighting towards spawn. Looking to see if they do that again with some of this breach util.
They run it down. Oh, and just being very careful though. Dobro's the positioning so perfect, but still can't run away with more. And up to Teague now to utilize the ultimate. Yep, they're keeping the time.
Wow.
And they're making it big still though. They're in such a good position. 21 seconds until they're able to refresh. Help on that. And maybe even now the reload coming through and they're rushing them down towards the side. They hear it. And you know it's a fake. They're questioning the existence, so Zachary does not care. Huge clutch coming through. I'm surprised Teague fully committed to that fight. He could have just, like, jiggle peek, maybe played around.
Yeah, bided his time a bit.
Yeah.
Somehow made that 1v3 look really winnable. The confidence to send the breach ult there, sent precision to the moon. I mean, my man entered orbit off that breach ult. That was so silly. How did that happen? I mean, he definitely took some fall damage off that. I mean, this is really displaying the level of confidence that Blinn are at right now. That Teague is in a 1v3, has the Rolling Thunder, and says, yeah, I'm a press Q right now. I mean, he's 16-3. I get it.
Okay, the op is back. Will it work this time? Oh gosh, the patience is so crazy with Zachary. But he doesn't! He misses out! And that first shot was the winning factor as to how they were going to push back Blinn. But even then, Okeano's feeling the confidence, Zachary knowing somebody's just standing there and manages to take it back.
That was clean from Zachary. Finally, some value with that operator. Shutting down the entry, Okeanos.
Blind shots through the smoke, though. Blinn's so good at the entry. And it's always them able to find themselves down on the site. Now the question is, can they keep the site? Retake not really seeming too difficult for DB, especially now with the amount of information coming through from the tethers. They know where Teague is. They have information on everyone else. Planning for something big. But it doesn't work out the way they want. DB can't seem to get themselves on site with the amount of util expended. Paranoia down. And Ange left alone to fight this 1v2. Oh, ring around the rosy. And Teague right behind. Another win from Blinn. Dominant performance.
Their fundamentals are just like looking so much more smooth than DB right now in those fight situations, the swing for each other from the backside box, fighting the two players from DB coming in from Link. They're just looking so much better in those little scenarios like that. Economy cracked again for DB. Both times they've won a round, they lose the subsequent, and then just their economy is boomed, flattened, sent back to 0. So tough for them, so frustrating.
It's been rough. At this point, it's like, put everything you have into the game. We haven't necessarily even seen, like, you know, a big push to gather early information on the side of DV either. They're playing with whatever Blinn decide to do, which gives them that first move advantage. And now, obviously, they've listened in on the intel, keeping these players down, and B ultimate out, and a huge advantage still on the side of Blinn.
Yeah, I do agree, though. They really haven't been too proactive at controlling these A and B extremities. Blinn have been working the map so slowly, such ease. Just obliterating these low-buy players on DB. Free plant again. Monsi, one away from getting the ult activated. A nice little piece of util to have in the final round, which will be DB's last full buy, their last attempt to get another on the board.
Keeping the silence. They just want one.
One enemy remaining.
That's all they're begging for, and one is what they get. Can they find another? No, Riku.
No! Poor Riku. Was a line in that one up for a minute.
Oh gosh.
But Okeanos got too silly. The slippery eel. You hate to see that.
That was brutal.
I'm kind of curious to see if DB on this final round will go for some mid-aggression like they did earlier on that one Sheriff buy that they had. Now that Zachary has his ultimate, we'll see that pretty often. The Raze is double satcheling down mid, but no, it looks like their default setup again. This is what they did last time. They haven't really pushed too much for B control or a main control. See what they do here.
Operating the same. Yeah, first shot already given away. So it's pretty typical, but this time Blinn have not been really applying themselves too heavily onto side. It's like they've conditioned DB into standing back, but the first time in forever we finally see them do push up, and it doesn't work out the way they planned. Drone is able to find one, but the Thrash now reloaded. And a round win once again for Blinn, 1v4, unless Zachary can like really pull through with the showstopper, but chances of that happening are slim.
I mean, Blinn have just, they just read them like a book in that situation. DB have been making too many little solo efforts towards A. Again, 2 rounds in a row, Eng peeks from the same spot, goes down. And then Blinn just, actually Zachary maybe could do something here.
Maybe, maybe not actually.
Yeah,
oh my, not. The brutal stats.
Maybe not.
I was waiting to see what was going to happen next, but it seems like that was it. It was the end credits. And now we're switching sides.
Yeah, it's a little unfortunate, but this situation here, Blinn are just stacked up with multiple players watching the angle. They just knew. They were simply aware that a re-clear would be coming. A 2-man contact re-clear. The awareness from them is so nice.
It is a day. It is the map of the Blinn, to be fair.
It definitely is a day, you're right.
It is a day.
It's Thursday even.
It is Thursday. It happens
You're spitting right now, Congress.
It happens to be the 11th.
Undeniable facts.
And it is 10-2 currently. Blinn are crazy. Let's see how they handle this though. Okay, DV might just be better kind of on the attacking side.
Playing it a little bit slow. That one-way smoke goes down, left side mid. Trying to work their way up. Work into an A split.
Go get him.
Okay. No, the 360 from Zachary to check behind was crazy, but they are still cooking right now. Oh no. Even then the right click. Sure, it seems to work. Zachary now looking for cover behind as Okeanos starts to wreak havoc on everyone else, but a 4v2? And a possibility for a pistol round to go on to the board for DB. All they need to do is work themselves around Monty. Tons of damage now, especially with the Dizzy making its way. 2 players down!
1 enemy remaining.
And a defusal that could work. They know where they are. They hear the noise. The magic is made. Right click to end it off. And Spaz is not okay.
Oh, they can't keep getting away with it. They can't keep getting away with it. Someone shoot the Dizzy. That's such a tragedy. I mean, the retake util from Blinn there is perfect. They've got 2 flashes in the bank. They use both of them. They get all 3 players blinded. No, someone's got to just shoot the Dizzy. Tragic.
That is a crazy play.
Shameful performance.
A right click. Honestly, Spaz could have just held that, but at that point he wanted to be a little cocky. Man, the ego there for Blinn. Now closing the door on their faces, forcing them to figure out how they're going to be able to make way, especially now with Stinger's spot. So even if they lose this one, they pretty much lose out on the thing in entirety.
Yeah, they feel like they've just got a full commit. They got the plant down. They got that extra cash. Down by so much. They've got to go for it. Mike with the first already.
They're already using so much util too to get on the site, so they have to push this, make the approach, but they've seen Trone. You know, that's so much information just given away. Okay, somebody's there. even knowing that the possibility of going towards A is the thing here, but Spaz might just be able to catch out. Oh no. I lied. They're just getting sandwiched in. He just ended the game. Single-handedly.
Blinn are just making this look way too easy. Everything they do, always perfect. Well, you know, except for sometimes you miss, that's okay. But as a team, everything they do, just going perfectly. They are so acutely aware of DB's positioning in all of these situations. I mean, it looks like they're playing with wall hacks at times.
I thought you were gonna say they are just so acute, and I agree. this gameplay.
Well, they're just cute.
They're just cute. This gameplay is crazy. Man, I think what interests me the most is Teague is just always on point with the util.
He's 19-4. He's 19-4 on the breach.
Then he's
that's
playing off his own stuff.
Illegal activity.
He is the moment right now for Blinn. Oh my gosh, the reaction time is crazy. He's still walking up.
Go, go.
Oh no. Information given away. Oh, he knows though. He has to know. Somebody's there. No, but he doesn't see it in time.
Yeah, and that's a we already won the game type play from Okeanos. Just, again, silly maxing.
Oh god. No, maybe not. DP are kind of cooking right now. Okay, Vandals picked up. They toyed around a bit too much there. And that's where the cockiness came through. Can they recollect themselves, though?
I'm going to say yes. I think they will be recollecting themselves. It looks like they're just going to go ahead and save these weapons, try and get a decent buy on the next, close things out. The smallest bit of hope for DB. The tiny, microscopic hope levels. They're having a very, very casual conversation right now. Chilling for real.
Chilling for real.
Listen, maybe Bind will be their map, though. Right, guys?
Right,
you guys?
I think it's,
trying to inject some hope here. Looking
in past historic moments on Bind, they did win against Turtle Troop in week 1.
That was 4 months ago.
Stage 1.
That was 4 months ago, but you're right. They did do that. They did do it. They also beat a team recently. I'm checking the data. They recently beat the Laser Freaks, which is a crazy team name.
Where are
Damn, I didn't know they duoed Laser Freaks like that. That's crazy.
They are mythic. They're crazy. I really want to know what the thought process was behind the Bind pick, because I feel like they would have fared out better with another map. But if they cook, I will bow down.
And they might.
Forever. I will always pick Dobros if they win Bind.
It looks like they might be walking into this site for util here. Okeanos said, yeah, all right, I'm gonna win this game this round. And now, with that push down mid, it looks like DB feel pressure to actually hit this site where there's 3 Blinn players stacked up, and Tripwires, and the cam. Okay, Mike, we're down to Aftershocks. What's going on there?
Oh, but they've dropped it. Tether's so good, but they still can't.
Planted.
They don't collect it. Regardless, though, player advantage on the side of Blinn, but that doesn't matter. So much util coming through from Drone, but still gets taken out. Spaz is there to collect, and that's a 13-3 victory. And a very quick game coming through from the Dobros. Only 16 rounds to take away that victory. So for them, they look like nothing happened. It is a normal day in the Valorant.
They are legit chilling right now. Monster's going to refill his water, staying hydrated. I respect that. Same. I'm about to do the same during this break, you know what I mean? They look so chill, and they should be. I mean, they reached the inevitable conclusion and made it look way too easy.
It honestly, the sunset pick was just inevitable. I think they have like 15 games playtime on that, so yeah, they're pretty comfortable. Although, with the normie composition that we got to see from Dobros for the first time in our lives, there is a lot more to come for the second game, so don't go anywhere. We'll be right back with more Challengers.
Probably Xander. Xander's like playing insane, honestly. And he's on smokes, which is like, if Xander somehow gets first by being smokes, like there's just like, I don't know what else to say. Like,
I would say Xander. I think Xander is definitely a candidate to be a top fragger in the league.
Probably either Redux or Mata. I think Mata, I don't know if like he's been getting a lot of respect on his name or not, but like that man has been playing really, really well for like the last year. And if anything, he's playing better now than he played like 6 months ago. So I think Redux is in the same boat, right? Very young player, super mechanically gifted, and he just doesn't have an off switch, right? So
it's definitely biased towards the duelist. I'll give it to Zeldris or Mata.
Hopefully me again, but if it's not me, then probably T-Dog.
I think the person who will lead in kills by the end of stage 2 will be Zachary.
Me, of course, yeah. Definitely me. Redux. That guy is just a menace, and I know he's off to a good start.
I think the player that will end with the most kills is probably Mata again. Or I don't know if he was. I know he was the MVP. I don't know what he, like, maybe just full stat-wise, like ACS or whatever. But Mata's a beast, man. I'm sure it's going to be tight with, like, a lot of the duelists, like Redux, Mata.
I feel like Mata is definitely, like, on track to do that. I feel like he's very in form.
I'd say Redux. I think Redux can lead with more kills. Sometimes he goes crazy, pretty consistent too, so I don't think he's going to have many bad games. So yeah, I would say Redux.
I would say Mata, because he's already killing it, so I think he'll just keep going.
I think the player that would lead with the most kills by the end of stage 2 will probably be me. I think I'm going to destroy stage 2.
Probably me.
Mata or Zeldris, just because they play a certain way, and it so happens to be that their players on their teams tend to find more engagements. I think that's reasonable.
I don't know. I guess Mata. He's like kind of like a stats player. I don't know. And he also like. Never mind. Oh wait, I was gonna say some crazy shit. Never mind. We're chill.
The game starts long before the game starts. And warm hands are faster hands. Gain the upper hand and power up your pregame warm-up with Zippo hand warmers.